What's up guys, it's your boy OmegaXVI, and today I'm coming with a tutorial that I think needs to be made. Lately I've seen the Destiny community forget how to really build craft outside of watching a YouTuber, you know, flocking to Astacross, Caxus. Well, that's not bad. I mean, copying a build and using it and having fun with it, great, you know, enjoy the game. But for the people who are like, maybe I don't exactly want to run that load, or I don't really know how to start and make my own, you know, new players, returning players, a lot has changed, right? And as of next season, every single class will have fragments and aspects, so it's going to be very important without seasonal mods to see how you're going to focus your build. So I'm going to do a bit of a comprehensive guide to show you how to make a build, what kind of stuff you should be focusing on, like what's the purpose of the build, what exotics you should run, you know, weapons and armor, how to get those weapons and armor stats and stuff. So buckle in, it's going to be a bit of a long video, but let's jump right into it. So I have a little disclaimer slash preface that I want to get for you guys, and it's that you need to remember that you're your own unique person, and copying a Destiny content creator might not be the best way to improve your game. Yes, you might be using a meta class, but the thing is, unless you're Caxus, Datto, or thing, they have so much in-game sense that they just kind of forget to explain things. Or, you know, you might not have the time to dedicate to getting your account like that, and you just kind of feel left out. So what my aim is to show you how to work with your strengths and weaknesses and make a build to accentuate your strengths and negate your weaknesses. With that out of the way, we have a kind of daunting screen here. There's a lot of options, which is great for Destiny to give you a lot of customizability. So first things first, once you know, say to yourself, I don't really play like them, I play like me. You got to identify what you're good at and what you're lacking in. And the great thing about builds is you can compensate for a lot of those things. So first and foremost, you want to identify your playstyle. Do you like to play aggressive? Are you a team player? Do you like to sit in the back? Do you like to snipe? Whatever the case is, you want to focus your build around that. It also helps to focus on what's in this season, like mod wise, which is a whole other section. But the core part of understanding that you need to build around yourself, there's always an item or something that can make the way you play better. You know, it could be just as simple as switching a chest piece out, or switching your subclass, or a fragment, or an aspect. That's the great thing. There's so many factors that can just boost up your gameplay. So the thing I want to deal with first is there's a bit of a hierarchy on how you should be starting your build, a top-down thing. So you start with your subclass, then you work your way to your armor, and then you work your way to the mods within the armor, and then you work to your weapons. Your weapons should always be last because these can be changed out at will, but you usually center yourself around an exotic or, you know, certain weapon mods, and you definitely have to work with what your subclass is. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you start thinking of builds is which class stands out to you, which subclass stands out to you the most. You're going to have to experiment a lot when you're doing build crafting, because it's going to take a lot of time to fine-tune things. So once you find the subclass that speaks out to you, you're going to notice that there are a lot of options. Your abilities are your bread and butter of your class, same thing with your super, and how I'm gonna describe these, I think, will be a little bit helpful. Your aspects are basically like your main outfit, like what you wear, you know, whether you're wearing a suit, jeans and a t-shirt, you know, that kind of deal. And your fragments are more like accessories. Your aspects drastically change the way your subclass functions, and your fragments are, you know, those little accent pieces that, you know, take it to the next level. So each of them provide different things. Some of them give additional fragment slots. These all give 2. Before this used to be 1. Some of them just give you an effect. Some of them give you an effect and a stat bonus. And some of them take away a stat and give you a pretty good thing in return. Now, that was step 1. So now we're on to step 2. It's solidifying your armor layout. So the great thing is I would recommend building around exotic. This makes your life a lot easier. So you know, take your way over to the exotic tab, go to your armor. The one thing I will mention is some of the exotics do not work unless you're using the required subclass, which is great because it really limits what you can use. Like no backup plans requires you to be a void class. Almacine 14, Ward of Dawn is a void class exclusive. Arc melee kills. So they're very descript in their item descriptions. Once you figure out what exotic you're going to use, you then can work on your mods and your armor. So if I pull up a piece of armor, you'll notice an affinity right off the bat, and there's an energy bar, and in the corner you see how much the energy cost is. And when you master work your, well, let's see, the gear stats, you know, the individual, it has individual stats totaling up to X number. The highest I've seen is 91, which is a 69 plus a 12 stat boost plus a 10 from your general armor mod. Now, this is important when you start fine-tuning your build, but to generally get your build where it needs to be, you're going to do the mod section. As you can notice, there's a lot of mods. Combat style is the most important one, I would say, because these ones, most of them are generic, but obviously each one of them has their own little elemental one in addition to the seasonal mods. So with combat style, as you can see, there's 3 types of mods. Ones that give you beneficial to your teammates and you when you have charge with light, and can give a bonus stat if you use an arc mod socketed into the armor as well. Then you can use charge with light mods, which when you get a charge with light stack, you can use it to do X number of damage, so you gain bonus weapon damage. Each enemy you kill consumes 1 stack until you're out. Then you have elemental well mods, which are here. And they generate elemental wells based on your subclass. Some of them are class specific, as you can see. How you get these, you can buy them from Ada 1, which would be really helpful. If you don't have them all right away, do not fret. She has a rotating daily schedule that resets at reset time in your time zone. For me, it's 1 p.m. So let's just take Elemental Ordnance. Whenever you kill an enemy with a grenade, it spawns an Elemental Well that matches your subclass. So those bring up your ability. So it brings up all your abilities minorly. So once you have all that solidified, you can get on to step 3 on you know, the standard builds that you see. The 2 main components of your build, you know, your subclass, your exotic, and your armor loadout. These will tend not to change, but what will change is what you'll be using in your primary, your energy, and in your heavy slot. Now, the great thing about these is you can change them out for the situation. So my recommendation is have something that can be subbed in for an exotic in the primary slot, like, I don't know, Arbalist, or, you know, Ace of Spades, Lumina, Malfeasance, whatever really you like. You know, this would be better for single target damage as opposed to trying to take out hordes. Same thing with Wither Horde, but in the exact opposite. You know, you could run Vex Mythoclast, Prometheus Lens, Teraba. It's kind of up to you. General, if you're really hard stuck on what to use, just use the Gjallarhorn. And with the addition of crafted weapons, you can really fine-tune your build. Like, this Callus mini tool has been my bread and butter the whole season, and I'm so glad that they added it back to the game, especially with the perks that it can roll with. But honestly, that's pretty much it. It's really simple in 3 components. It's subclass, then your armor set, and then your weapons. Your weapons are just up to you and how you play. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. I put a lot of time and effort into making this video. But on top of that, I'm actually really excited to see what you guys build. If you want to share your builds with me, you can reach me on my social media, which will be linked down below. I hope this gave you some confidence, you know, to deviate a little bit on, you know, the standard builds that you see. So happy building, Guardians. Peace.